Hey guys, it's Brick, and welcome back to Dark Souls 2. In the last episode, we cleared things betwixt, -1 ogre, and now we are heading out through the crack that we saw, the giant dome wall. This is one of my favorite entrances. It reminds me a lot of Fallout 3, actually. Just such an amazing vista to pop out to after being in there. This is Majula, affectionately known as Majuju. This place is your home base. It is the Firelink of this game, but a much different feel to it, obviously. We're on the coast, there's a breeze, and it has this wonderful, wonderful, very soft music playing in the background, nowhere near as depressing as the strings of Firelink. Now before we head through that gate to the main area of Majula, coming right here and taking a little drop, and going right here, and can I just take another one? Yeah, taking a second drop will lead you to this body, which will give you a Morning Star and a Cleric's Sacred Chime. The Morning Star is a weapon. The Chime is a casting tool for miracles. And then right there are the binoculars, which are actually very, very, very useful because they will allow you to aim your spells at long distance. So if you're a spellcaster, you really, really want to go pick those up. Stop right here at the bonfire. I'm just gonna stop for a moment. I love this place. It's partially because the beach, this kind of ocean, this darker, like slightly overcast ocean, reminds me of a place I used to spend a lot of my childhood at and have some of my favorite memories there. It's just, this is my atmosphere. This place was built for me, I feel.
Are you the next monarch? Or merely a pawn of fate? Bearer of the curse, I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey.
The first thing you're going to want to do when you come into Majula is talk to the Emerald Herald here. She will give you your first Estus flask.
See the king. He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick.
She is the most important NPC in this game, bar none. She gives you your first Estus flask and allows you to get more Estus flasks from her. She tells you what your quest is. She gives you a purpose. She tells you to go seek the king, King Vendrick. And she is the only way to level up in this game. This will be different for Dark Souls players. You cannot level up at bonfires. You must come back to Majula and level up at the Emerald Herald. The good news is that the teleportation between bonfires is activated from the very start of the game. So, don't worry about that.
Bearer of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid.
Similar to the last episode, this one's going to be very devoid of combat and death. So everyone's going to figure this out on their own. You can feel free to skip this episode if you're looking for a little more walkthrough.
Seek those whose names are unutterable. The four endowed with immense souls. Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away. Bearer of the curse, seek souls.
You will hear these 4 lines a lot, so I'm just going to skip through them. Now, she does have plenty of other things in here, but, I mean, I'm not going to play them here. She will tell you a lot of cool stuff about the lore. She'll give you a little insight into the world. She's a cool character. She's very sad, though. She only has one tone of voice.
You're undead, aren't you?
This man has a very familiar voice.
You have that distinct scent, the smell of irreversible fate. This is Majula. It is a kind of settlement. A place where life is almost normal. And in Drangleic these days, there are very few places like that. I am Solden, And like you, I lost everything. And you probably heard that it was possible to break the curse here. Well, that's not true at all. There's nothing here for you, me, or anybody.
So the reason that our character originally left to come here is apparently not true at all. There is no way to break the curse on Drangleic.
Do you know much about souls? Even I'm not certain, but I'm told that the soul is the essence of life itself. Anything living, sentient or no, supposedly has one. What we call the curse is traceable to the soul. Do you see what that means? To be alive, to walk this earth. That's the real curse, right there. We undead will never die. And that's quite a predicament, really.
He's a bag of sunshine, isn't he?
There are 4 beings in this land with giant souls. And wherever you go from here, you'll sooner or later come up against them. Each has a powerful soul and a terrible curse. If that frightens you, then you ought to just give up right now. Like I have.
Man, Salden is just a depressing guy.
Do you ever cry out for help? The journey of an undead is long and treacherous. You'll face invaders from other worlds at every turn. If you need help, why not proclaim faith in the Blue Sentinels? When you face danger, the Blue Sentinels will come to your aid. Protection is yours, if you wish. You need only accept their kind embrace.
I love the Blue Sentinels and the Way of the Blue. I think they are a cool interaction. We'll get into them a little more later. Just know that joining the Way of Blue gives you a level of protection against players invading your game. Let's leave it at that. I am going to join them because they are interesting. And because more players need to join them so that the other Covenant, the Blue Sentinels, has purpose.
That is a wise decision. People are weak, but the Blue Sentinels watch over us in their benevolence. Let the Sentinels cradle you in their embrace.
Now, what's interesting about him is he is almost the same character as the Crestfallen Soldier in Dark Souls 1. It's the same voice actor, same kind of depressed, pessimistic position. But he's not as pessimistic. He's not as terribly sad. And he actually manages to cheer up over the course of the game if you come back and talk to him, which is pretty cool.
Do you feel lonely here? It suits me just fine, as I've nothing left anyway. It will grow on you, this place. Give it some time.
I feel like that's almost the developers saying, hey, listen, I know this isn't Firelink, but you'll get used to it. There's the welcome gesture. Gesture. What's a gesture?
Do you see the way beyond the bonfire? That will take you to the forest of the giants. There was once a great fort, but little of it remains. You may just find something there that will be of use on your journey. But don't venture too far inside, or you might not come back. May you find peace on your journey.
Salden's a cool NPC. And that first conversation points you in the direction of the Forest of the Fallen Giants, which is definitely the first place you should be headed once you're done with Majula. Now over here, we can find one of the many. And these are everywhere. These are everywhere. Oh, really? I am shocked. I was expecting a cliff fall. Almost every single bloodstain in this place, and there are a lot of them. It's just someone jumping straight off a cliff. See? There's a lot of them, and if you ever need to cheer up, just come here and click on a bloodstain and watch them fall. They're like little lemmings. They just don't know what to do. They just go right off the cliff. They don't turn around. Some useful little supplies on there. Talk to the green man. Who is this?
Who are you? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant. But now somebody's gone and locked the door.
Poor Lenegrast cannot get into his blacksmith. We'll have to come back with the key later. For he is an extremely useful NPC that we will take full advantage of. Before we grab that tent, we're going to go ahead and run up this ramp. Let's see what we can find up here. Now, if you'll notice in the top left, my health bar next to it is a different symbol. It was blank before. This is because I've joined the Way of the Blue. That is a symbol for the Way of the Blue. Right on this body, you'll find a homeward bone times 5. Not too bad. And this is the Victor's Stone for joining the Covenant of Champions. This is a huge bitch. It makes enemies stronger, it makes you weaker, and it completely stops all friendly summoning of any kind. This is for people that want a good challenge. And it is a fun time, and you get some cool rewards out of it. I will not be joining you for this playthrough. But just so you know, it is here for that extra challenge. I can't say I recommend it on your first playthrough, though. Now, if we head back down, let's go grab that item we saw in the tent. What we have right here is another life gem. Can never have too many life gems, I assure you. They are just beyond useful. Come on in here. You'll see a cat that you can talk to.
Oh, undead are we? And one without much time remaining. Just about ready to fall apart, I'd say. Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat. Well, suit yourself. Oh yes, you may call me Shalquoir. Enchanté. So, what did you want anyway? Ooh, you smell wonderful.
This is Sweet Shalquoir, the cat. Probably related in some way to the giant cat of Dark Souls 1, who could also speak. But obviously a lot nicer than that one. Isn't asking me to go into the forest and murder people. She has some really interesting conversations. I do recommend you go through all of them. In here, you'll find that she has some really useful rings, and I'm just going to break them down to you really quick. The Ring of the Evil Eye is lifesteal of some sort. Killing an enemy will heal you a little bit. Silvercat Ring is the most important one out of this set. It will allow you to take a lot of reduced damage for falling, which we will need. The Red Eye Ring is essentially makes you the tank of the group. It will piss off all the enemies. So anybody else playing with you, any phantoms you've summoned, will have a much easier time not getting hit. The Name Engraved Ring is a ring used to play with friends. If both of you get the ring and you choose a god from the ring, I think there's a list of 9 or 10, and if you choose the same god, it makes it much more likely for you to see each other's signs and basically interact better. The Ring of Whispers lets you hear the voices of foes. It has some weird effects where you'll just hear growls or something like that in certain areas. But it also allows you to talk to a specific NPC later in the game. And I can't confirm this. Someone in the comments let me know. I think it makes it so you can hear the voices of enemies, of invaders, if they're using voice chat, which is a feature in this game. And then she just has some regular stuff right here, which you can feel free to explore. We'll find it later on our journey. We have no reason to talk to her. She does show you your rank in every covenant, which is a cool thing. And she can also make you leave it, but there is no point to not be in a covenant.
Nothing suited you, I presume? Well, that's dismaying.
Unlike the last game, there is no consequence for leaving a covenant. Now this rock right here is very precarious. Go ahead and give it a whack. Up comes a body with an Estus Flask Shard. This is an extremely useful item. It will allow us to add another Estus Flask to our inventory because we were only given one. Now over here, run. Run away from the evil, evil, evil tiny pigs. They are stronger than they look. They are extremely hard to hit, and they're just overall horrifying. In fact, get away! Stay away from me! I have one more building to explore before I'm done introing Majula. I know this episode is super, 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 ultra, mega dry, and I apologize for that, but once again, we're just getting started. The next episode will be our first real thing. Right here, we can talk to this guy.
Hello there. Welcome to my shop. I'm Morlin, and I sell armor. Oh, sorry, Please do have a look at my wares. I could really use the business. If you'd be so kind.
He's a strange one, Malline. He's obviously very shy. He's from a foreign land, but he does sell some really useful stuff. He sells a decent amount of armors, but most importantly, he sells some shields. You want to come in here and buy this Silver Eagle Kite shield if you do not already have a good shield. If you plan on using a shield, which I do not actually, but you should. You should use a shield. I'm crazy. Don't listen to me. It has a 90% physical block, which you can see right over here. This is your important one. It will block 90% of physical damage, which is, I believe, the highest you can get at this point in the game. So definitely pick it up. It's super useful.
Well, I do hope I see you again.
You will. Don't worry, man. Buying things from him will actually make him expand his inventory. First, he'll expand it when you spend 1,000 souls, and then he'll expand it again when you spend 16,000. Up here we can find a Titanite shard, which is used for upgrading weapons, once again, just like the things we found from the bird in the last episode. And with that, there's one more building to explore, but unfortunately, it is locked right now. We will come back to it. Down here is a pit. It's a very Sparta-like pit. There's items on those things, but I can tell you right now, you will not survive that fall. You're going to want to get that silver cat ring to make it a lot easier. That's it for Majula. That's it for this episode, in fact. In the next episode, we're going to head where Salden told us we should, down this path towards the Forest of Fallen Giants. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. I'll see you next time. I'm done with you people. My name is Brick Hardmeat. Remember me.